Yo, what is going on, guys? So as you can see from the title, this video is going to be basically a build breakdown of Jacob's Miata. I was going through our videos the other day and I realized, out of the 4 cars I own, the 4 or 5 that he owns, we haven't done a video on his Miata, which is crazy because I think that's the coolest car out of all of ours, to be honest. We've done a video on his Turbo E36, my lifted Miata, a little bit of my 240, but we haven't really done anything on his car. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're also gonna start a little bit of a build series. So everything we do from now forward until it's running and tuned, we're gonna do a little series on. So this is gonna be the beginning of it. And I'm on my way to the shop right now. I was just running some errands. So yeah, I'll see you guys when I get there. All right, so a little change of plans. Jacob actually isn't coming here today. So I'm gonna talk about his car. I'm gonna talk about the best I can because obviously he knows more than I do. He knows everything about it, what's inside and everything. So I'm just going to talk about it the best of my ability. So, to start with, it's a 1996 NA Miata. So, pre-96 Miatas came with the 1.6 liter engine. This being a 96 came with the 1.8 liter engine right here. Well, 1.8 just wasn't good enough for Jacob, so he had it bored out to a 1.9 liter. So this is now a 1.9. It has a fully built engine, pistons, rods, bearings, everything in the head, springs, retainers, everything. There's nothing that can't be done to this engine, essentially. So let's start with the head, I guess. So this head, funny story, is a BP4W head. And a BP4W came off of a 99 to 2000 Miata, or came in a 99 to 2000 Miata. Which, this is actually really ironic, that head came from my car right here. This actual car. So if you saw my video about introducing this car to the channel when I first got it, you would know that this used to be my friend's car. About 3 or 4 years ago now, I think it is, when my friend owned it, it used to be automatic. When he first lifted it, because he lifted it, I didn't, it used to be automatic, and he was driving it, and I remember him calling me and saying, hey man, I think I blew an axle, whatever it was. I hear a loud clanking noise. I was like, oh man, that sucks. Let me know when you get home. So he got home, called me about 20 minutes later and said, dude, it wasn't the axle, it was the engine. And I'll insert a clip right here if I still have it. So the bottom end pretty much blew up on this car right here when he owned it. And this is a 99, so it has the BP4W head, and it was automatic, remember. Well, Jacob's car, he wanted a BP4W head. Quick side note, the reason Jacob wanted a BP4W head is because they have a lot better porting than the heads that came on the NA Miata. Forgot to mention that, just thought I'd throw it in there right now. And his was a manual, his was a 5-speed. But he already planned on using the BMW transmission. And if you haven't seen that video, we have a video on putting the Getrag E30 transmission in this car. I suggest go checking it out. But he planned on doing that swap, so he just had a 5-speed he wasn't using. So, my friend right here, when he owned this car, had the BP4W head that was still good. The bottom end was just blown up, and it was automatic. Jacob had a 5-speed he wasn't using. They both wanted each other's things. You kind of see where this is going. So now this 5-speed that's in this car right here actually came out of Jacob's car, and the BP4W head actually came out of this car. So they just swapped the BP4W head for the 5-speed transmission, and my friend got a 99 engine from a junkyard and we put it in this car. So kind of funny story how parts from this car are on this car and parts from this car are on this car. Anyway, I know that was kind of a long side note. So to continue, fully built BP4W head, has a Flying Miata fuel rail, as you can see. Not sure the size of the injectors, to be completely honest. Has a Skunk 2 intake manifold, Skunk 2 throttle body. He made this little overflow he has to finish. It has the Super Miata coolant reroute. So this is a block off. Then right here has a Koyo rad, as you can see. This goes along back here to this aluminum tube into the other part of the coolant reroute back there. Has the coil on plug kit now, the conversion. Has a, I want to say Briggs turbo manifold. I think it's Briggs. And a Garrett, sorry if I'm wrong, I think it's a 3176, I believe, ball bearing. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, not 100% sure, but I know it's a Garrett, obviously, right here. Super damper down there. It has, I know you can't see it really well, but I also have a video on this when we put this in, the Fab 9 Stage 2 intercooler. Like I said, I have a video on us installing that if you want to go check it out. Has the Spall slim fans for cooling. Has the tile blow-off valve right here. Probably won't be able to see it, but way back there has the tile wastegate. Like I said, as far as the bottom end, I don't know exactly what's in it. I just know it's upgraded pistons, rods, bearings, rings, everything. And it's also, like I said, a 1.9 liter now, so it has oversized pistons and rings and whatnot. Has the slave from an E30 because, again, like I said, it has a Getrag transmission, which is actually what I'll get to now. So for drivetrain, it has the Getrag E30 transmission, which, if you don't know what that is, it's a transmission that came out of a BMW E30. He bought a whole kit. Actually, let me put it in the air and show you. All right, so under the car now, there's not a lot of light, but as you can see, it has a transmission from a BMW, like I said, the Getrag transmission. This is the adapter plate right here to go between the transmission and the engine to adapt these two. It has this bracket right here we had to make fit. The drive shaft, the custom drive shaft, the shifter up there I'll show. And here's the shifter right here, the shifter plate, the shifter itself from MIATA. Drive shaft, back to this diff brace, and it's a welded MIATA diff. So, if you haven't seen our video on us putting this transmission in, I know I already said it, but I suggest go checking it out if you want to know more about it and how to actually install it, what you have to do for it. There's a whole kit from a company called MIATA to make this fit, to make this transmission fit to this engine. So yeah, we go over all that in our other video. Also for suspension, super jealous. He's on Olin coilovers. As you can see, right there, the name, Olin, right there. If you don't know what Olins are, I suggest looking them up. If you do know what they are, you know these are really nice. I think that's pretty much, you know, a general idea of what this car is, what's done to it. I know he wants to make like 500 or 600 horsepower out of it. He has to get a bigger fuel pump if he wants to, though, because he just found out his fuel pump's pretty small. He thought it was a bigger one. But yeah, that's where it sits right now. The only thing left is really to run vacuum hoses, little things, wiring things, you know, really small stuff. Get the ECU tuned, and it should be able to start. Get a base tune on the ECU, I mean, and it should be able to start. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a little walkthrough of this car, a little breakdown of what's been done to it. Like I said, this is gonna be a start to a little build series about this car. Anything else we do, I'll show you guys and walk you through step by step of what we're doing until, of course, it's running and tuned. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this video. Just a short video about this car. And yeah, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe if you want to see more about this car. It should be running pretty soon. So anyway, I will see you guys on the next one.